Hey, what's going on? This is Andre Sweeney, the Life Specialist. Welcome to the Get a Life Show, the show that gives you the tools and principles necessary for an outstanding life. Today's segment is called Life Nuggets, and today I'm talking to you from the subject 10 signs that you have an addiction. Listen, we live in a society that addictions are prevalent like never before. Drugs, prostitution, pornography, molestation, these things are happening, and we must take our heads out of the sands and out of the clouds and begin to be aware. Part of our problem is just that we live our lives and we're so consumed about what we have going on, work, family, church, our own businesses, that a lot of times we're just too unaware of what's going on. There are signs every day that flash before our eyes, and we just don't take the time to look at them. But there are signs. A lot of times, mothers say, "I had no idea that this was happening," and people say, "I had my, spouses say all the time, I had no idea my wife was going to be doing this and doing that." But if we really be honest with ourselves, there were signs. There were things that were going on that said to us, "Hey, there should be a red flag there. There should be some type of alert because something is going on." So when it comes to addiction, I want to give you some signs that you can look for. Now this is part one. We're going to give you the first 5 signs today and give you the next 5 on the next show. Okay? So let's begin. Sign number 1. Reoccurrent failure to resist impulses. Now you know as well as I do, when you're not attracted to something, it's not hard to resist it. If there's some ugly girl trying to hit on you, and every day she's calling you, every day she's talking to you, takes no power to resist her because you don't want that. It's harder to resist something that we want. And when it comes to an addiction, if you have problems resisting it, if it's getting harder and harder to say no, if you almost have to leave the room or go to a different place in order to get away from it, if you're having a craving and a thirst, then maybe you have an addiction. Sign number 2. Frequently engaging in those behaviors to a greater extent or over a longer period of time than intended. Okay, so maybe you have an issue and what's happening is you're frequently doing it and you're doing it for a longer period of time. You don't quite want to be there, but you find yourself staying at the party a little bit longer than what you should. There are drinks, alcohol there, and you know you shouldn't be there, but you find yourself not leaving when you should. Maybe you have an addiction. Sign number 3. Persistent desire or unsuccessful efforts to stop, reduce, or control those behaviors. So on a consistent basis, you find that you don't have any breaks in that area. You find that when you put the porno in, you can't turn it off. You want to hit the stop button, you want to hit eject, but for some reason you can't. That may be a sign that you have an addiction. Number 4. Inordinate amount of time spent in obtaining that object or addiction and or engaging in or recovering from that behavior. So what happens is you spend all your time. You should be at work, but you're in some bar somewhere. You should be at school, but you're in some nasty porno shop looking at stuff you ain't supposed to. You find yourself spending all your time. You should be paying your bills. You should be spending time with your family. But no, you're not doing that. You're spending your time inordinately in places where you shouldn't be. Number 5. Preoccupation with the behavior or preparatory activities. You find yourself, when you have an addiction, you find yourself preparing to mess up. You find yourself organizing. You find yourself writing things down for your own destruction. You find yourself getting your clothes ready ahead of time to go to that crack house. You find yourself preparing, making sure everything is right, making sure you have enough money, borrowing money from other people to make sure you're able to get where you need to go. You may not even be an organized person in your natural life, but when it comes to that addiction, you're meticulous and you plan for your own destruction. This is Andre Sweeney, the life specialist, and I'm here to help you get a life.